Number one show at late night. You know what it is? Nothing but illustrious guests.
That's right. This evening, today, tenemos the one and only, very illustrious Chef José Andrés, el único.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Boom, I love the shoes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, man.
This is the best background, quite frankly, I've seen. I mean, this background means the day, man. It's big, YouTube. This is amazing.
Oh,
man. Thank you for having me. I hope.
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for everything.
Where are you now? Where
I'm in the Bronx.
I may have it. So I was there last week.
Yeah, I've seen you out there.
I'm coming back. And where are you?
In New Jersey.
Okay, we are already fitting. We're already fitting in Newark, in Elizabeth.
Dale un paro, son locos, que hace falta.
But we are heavy there. We are already all over. We are already with some restaurants in different communities.
Yeah. You guys are really saving the community over here. Like, I see other people every day. The mothers are coming with their kids to get food. The hospital workers are coming. Personally, you are distributing food at my friend's restaurant, Bistro. Yeah. And every morning when I walk my dog, I walk past there and I see the lines of people waiting for food. Can you talk about some of the people who are using your services right now? Because I think people have a misconception about who's going to food banks right now.
Yeah, I think everybody is going to food banks. We already had the problem in this country of ours. We were in the best economic moment of our history with the lowest unemployment in the history. And still we had 40 million Americans, Democrats and Republicans, touches everybody, that they have a problem thinking about what they're going to put on the table for dinner for their children. This moment, this pandemic, with millions more joining the ranks of the unemployed, is increasing that problem. On top of that, many undocumented, more than 11 million, that you may like undocumented or you may love undocumented. The reality, being pragmatic, is that without those 11 million, America doesn't function.
Right.
All of a sudden is the perfect storm. And you have people that only want to work, that want to earn a decent living to provide for the families, that actually they cannot do that. And so World Central Kitchen is here. We are not usually a hunger or feeding organization per se, like community kitchens all across America and the world, but we are an emergency organization. And we believe, and we announced this before anybody, that this was going to be a humanitarian emergency. And we saw that many folks in many parts of America were going to have a problem with food. And we began creating a plan and began covering the blind spots of the system. If a hospital was in need of food because the kitchen shut down, we feed the nurses and doctors. If a housing project is having issues because everybody is losing jobs, we are there to be providing as much as we can those folks at the housing project, elderly, undocumented, you name it. Anybody that right now needs a plate of food, we're a small NGO, but we're trying to reach as many people as we can. At this point, we are close already doing 200,000 meals a day in more than 80 cities across America. So that's the situation.
How long does it take to make 200, to make that number of meals? Like, what time do you guys get started in the morning?
Well, we are making this all across so many places. One of the things World Central Kitchen did was every single restaurant in America is shut down. We had the best cooks in America, that they are the best, bigger heart community people ever. And they were doing it on their own with us or without us. But because we are an NGO that its success is based on having the food community in America and around the world supporting, we thought we were getting donations. One way to be helping America is putting some of those small community restaurants in the neighborhoods to work. The people do become part of the solution. They can rehire or not let go some of their employees. They know their community better than anybody because they have the connections. And if we do that across America, we can be feeding a lot of areas. We have more than 500 restaurants already working with us making sure that we feed a lot of people in Bronx, in Harlem, in Queens. I just was there 2 days and a half last week, and I saw many restaurants like one of your friends doing amazing work with many community leaders, that they are not sitting at home and just, waiting. They are there on the ground, covering the needs of citizens, of the voiceless, that actually nobody seems to be coming on their aid. But there you have World Central Kitchen with so many great partnerships all across New York and across America, making sure that we can bring some relief, some comfort.
And you talked about helping undocumented workers. Like on the low, it's kind of like un poquito, you're helping la comunidad latina. Por ejemplo, la mayoría, like a lot of the restaurant workers that you see in the back in the kitchen, a lot of them are undocumented, and especially in the bigger restaurants. So how does that factor into your overall plan of feeding people?
Well, we don't see passports. We don't see color of skin. We don't see religion. We see we the people. And we need to make sure that the system works for everybody, we the people. I believe in capitalism. Me, like probably everybody, I want to be rich one day. I make a good living, but I want to make a lot of money. So
not more. We get it.
There's nothing wrong. But it's a lot of people that sometimes they're born with a wrong lottery ticket. Me, I'm born in this side of the street, and these other people born in this other side of the street. And only that moment, you sometimes changes the life of people. I was yesterday in Baltimore, feeding those children, this mother, single mother with 6 children. And sometimes it's bad luck. And we need to make sure that nobody has bad luck, that everybody has an opportunity to enjoy the same things I enjoy. So you asked me about undocumented. The sad part is that America will not function without them. But forget undocumented. If you go to Harlem and you see the community, the community buildings there, the housing projects there, almost it feels like without the people living in those housing projects, the rest of Manhattan doesn't work. So Manhattan is successful on the shoulders of these people working north of Manhattan. No way. I love that Manhattan is successful. Everybody wants to be part of Manhattan, but cannot be at the expense of folks living 10 guys in 1-bedroom apartment. You say, why everybody's getting sick up there north? And seems those hospitals are the ones hit the hardest. Because if you are 10 people living in 1-bedroom apartment, because nobody in New York can afford to own their own 1-bedroom apartment and even working 2 jobs, it's something wrong with the system. So let's make sure we pay right so people can afford decent living, so then they can be in moments like this, not 10 people in 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah. This is what we are discovering. So for the undocumented, I went to Corona. And Corona is a place that is amazing. The closest food bank is like 3-4 miles away. But folks don't even have money for a bus. And if you go on the bus and you are an older guy and they give you a box, how do you carry that box of food? Yeah. So people don't think about those things. Yeah. When we talk about food deserts, it's a shame because we should not have food deserts at the same time that we are throwing food on the fields of the farms of America. Every community should be having a market supported by the Department of Agriculture, supported by the city, supported by the state, where those food markets in the middle of the food deserts become part of the community, where everybody, every week, farmers can bring their food, where folks that have snaps, the food stamps, can go and use that food stamps in a decent way, going with their children, going shopping, not going to a place that looks like you are a different species of people. No, bringing respect to the communities. I do believe that every city in America must be that by the next year should have those open markets where the extra food that is being produced in America with the help of the US government reaches those food deserts, and where families can go shopping like I do with my own family and bringing, not giving them pity, but showing them respect. We need to bring respect to American families and the way they feed their families. We cannot be doing like, hey, here you have whatever is left over. No, shouldn't be that way. And I do believe that in this moment in history, if we are smart, good things may come out of it, because we cannot keep doing the things in the way we've been doing them until now.
Let me ask you, what's your go-to signature dish? If you're trying, what dish do you know you can make better than any person on earth? That is your dish.
Right. Number one, I master every single dish in the world. Even if
I like that.
Even if I don't know the name and I never cook it, I'm so good that I am the best. I'm the number one, period.
Talk that talk.
Not much bullshit. I'm always hitting the French. I'm always hitting the Italians. But I do it with the utmost respect,
Got you. Mm-hmm.
But the other day, I was very lucky because chefs and people, and I call my friend Jack Pepin, who is without a doubt one of the chefs with the biggest heart. What happens is probably one of the most talented chefs alive. No, sorry, I say probably. Is the most talented French chef alive, and nobody can
after you.
Contrary. Well, he's French, so French, they are different. So he's French, and then he's people. I am in the people. I'm the best chef of the people. The French are in another planet. No, I don't mean better or worse. You're in another planet. You cannot mess with the French on cooking, But he's an amazing French chef. But he doesn't show his amazingness. Is that English? Amazingness?
Yeah, no.
I think so.
Dale.
Shit. If you say it is, it is.
Amazingness. and making complicated dishes. He shows how good he is because he's able to crack 2-3 eggs. And with a fork and a pan, being able to make this amazing French omelette that on paper seems simple: eggs, oil or butter, salt, and that's it. But when you see how he makes the egg and how he makes the omelette, you understand that even simplicity, it's a very difficult thing to accomplish and be good at.
Right.
So that, because I don't want to compete with his French omelette. Probably I make the second best French omelette in the history. What I do amazing well, that nobody can beat me.
Mm-hmm.
I can only beat myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good I am. Fried eggs.
Fried eggs.
Fried eggs. Again, the simplicity of cracking the egg in the oil at the right temperature with the right quantity and letting the egg white hitting the hot oil and all the egg white elevating itself because the water is evaporating and began covering like it was a volcano of egg white and covering the egg yolk. All of the sudden is covered, you put more oil and you make like a beautiful, I will say, coat of egg white around the egg yolk. All of a sudden, because egg white allows no heat transmission, you protect the egg yolk. The egg white gets crunchy in the outside, but soft in the inside. You take it out, some salt, some toasted bread. Leave the bread in the egg yolk. The egg yolk explodes. You bring
That's too sexy.
Right to
too sexy. It's too sexy.
So fried eggs, huevos fritos, coño. Huevos.
That's it. Listen, we gotta end the interview here. That was not a recipe. That was food porn, my friend. That did something to me right there.
Listen, dipping. It's amazing. A fried egg like that.
Listen. You just explained that. Wow. I'm about to go make one right now.
You know, I have a bodega now. All my restaurants in DC, we put a sign outside that says bodega. And what bodega is, because the restaurant is closed and now the restaurants are community kitchens, we do takeout, but then we feed the homeless in the street, in DC, in Georgetown, many places. We feed anybody that needs a plate of of food because they cannot afford it.
Mhm.
But then people need to buy. And if they cannot go to the supermarket, we began like many other restaurants. So you can buy toilet paper. You can buy sanitizer. You can buy flour. You can buy eggs. You can buy oil. You can buy vegetables. So many of my restaurants, they become, for now, a temporary bodega. And if anybody is listening to us, many of the restaurants, especially in communities that you feel your folks don't have a supermarket nearby, just make sure that you bring some basics and just offer it to the folks at the best price you can. So you make some money, but you keep those guys without having to drive or having to take the bus or the subway to bring food to the tables. So many restaurants should, if they are not a bodega and they don't have markets near their neighborhood, transform your restaurant into a mini bodega, and you are going to be able to share joy and food with everybody in your community.
Chef, thank you for sitting down with us. You don't know how New York is. Every bodega has a neon sign that says a hot menu or the price of food for the day. What would you like your neon sign to say?
Oh, chef, I would like my neon to say, the bodega that will feed the world.
The bodega that will feed the world.
Hey!
Thank you for everything you've done for the community. Thank you for everything you're doing. Keep doing your thing. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chef José Andrés.
Coño, Máximo.
Hey.